Hey, pretty bird flock. So, I want to start this video by apologizing that I did not add a second video of pretty bird splashing in the puddle this morning. Our plans changed suddenly, and the reason why is because I don't know what's going on this year. I've lived here for many years, and this has never happened before. This is, what, three times now that this has happened this summer. But I came across a crashed nest with two starving babies. These guys are tiny, as you can see. They appear to be doves again. I believe that they have recently hatched. If you look really closely, here, hold on, let me see if I can zoom in on that. Now pay attention to the very tip of their beak. You see that tiny little white hook right there. And then on this guy, tiny bit bigger than the other one, you'll see the exact same thing. You see this tiny hook. What that is that is the egg hook on top. That little white hook there that you see. They use that to break out of the egg when they're hatching. Which makes me think that these guys are probably only maybe a day or two, maybe 3 days old, something around that corner. I'm not, super well versed with doves, but obviously I have them on a heating pad. I was able to successfully feed them. As you can see by their crops, they're nice and full. Both of them. The crop is kind of like the stomach, but you can see it in the front. And if you kind of feel a squishy bag in the front that appears to be full of something, then they are full. And if it's flat, then you know that they haven't eaten in a while. They're both alive. They're doing okay. They were pitch wet. They were being hit by the sprinklers. The nest was on the ground. Last night in our area, I was actually up all night. I'm still awake. I was working on the cockatiels' cages, and I was cleaning them all out, with having the new birdie and having the two babies, our albino Winter, who is now joined Pikachu and Sunny, and they have merged into one flock, but Baby is not going to be able to stay with them in the main cage until Baby is able to defend herself or himself properly, in case one of them decides to pick on him. And but Baby, oh, this guy's starting to open its eyes. Hi. Hi, Bubba's. You okay? Are you tapping your foot? Are you restless? Hi, Bubba's. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, are you waking up? You waking up again? I'm sorry my hands look so bad. I was scrubbing the cages all night. Now, like I said before, step one, you find these babies, you don't just take them home. I didn't do that. First thing you want to look at is the situation. I actually have a photo of what looked like may have been a deceased dove, only a tree. It was within a tree of where the nest was on the ground. It looked like an adult deceased dove recently that had been killed. I hate seeing that. It's really sad. There was more than one baby on the ground, but the other ones were already deceased. All the other ones. One of them so recent. I just felt so bad. I believe it was actually a raven. But I always look around because, especially after windy nights, I look around and make sure none of the babies had fallen out of their nests. It's just something I do. I've always done this. I've done it my whole life. I don't know. It's just been this thing that I've done. I grew up in Germany where nature was all around us all the time. And we kind of looked after nature. That was normal, the way that I was raised. And the sad thing in this situation is that I believe that the mother is deceased, or the father, or both. I don't know. But then again, I know there's some very large ravens that I've been hunting in that area. I've seen them back more than once since that one day when I saw them. So these little guys, for now, they've eaten. I'm going to have to continue feeding them every couple of hours to keep them alive, to keep them thriving. I'm going to call a rescue a friend told me about that might be the best place for them, I'm thinking. I'll have to take them there because they're not doing pickups, but due to COVID. Usually they're not. I guess they do pickups, but because of COVID-19, they have new regulations and so on. But I'm gonna call them, make sure that I'm doing everything right, especially with these guys being this tiny. I mean, look at this. I can literally cover a baby with not even half of my thumb. Like, come here, honey. Come on, you're so fragile, little baby. Come here. I just want to give you guys an idea of how tiny these guys are. Look at that. This is the size of these little guys. And I have some, I want to say, medium to small hands. I wear small to medium gloves, so I don't have very big hands. So, but still, this baby is tiny. Can't help but have to say, though, how adorable, huh? And also, in our adventure of learning about these little guys, about all little animals, it is interesting to discover the difference between these little guys and then the two doves that we'd rescued in the past. You want to be really careful handling these guys. Now, if you find little doves like this, again, make sure that mom's not around. Make sure that you can't reach the nest. Make sure that there is no nest. I don't know if maybe the nest had been carried away, if maybe something had attacked the nest, or the nest was blown out by the storm last night, and maybe the mom was trying to protect him on the ground or something, and then something attacked her. The babies were actually under the nest. Like, the nest was upside down on the ground. And I'm wondering if that's what saved their lives. Because the sprinklers had hit them, they were wet. And I hadn't even noticed them. I don't even know if maybe in one of the videos in the background I'll be able to point out. I'll check the video I posted earlier and I'll see if I can point out where the nest is. And I'm wondering too if it was already on the ground at the time. It probably was because they were wet and the sprinklers had already ran. They were already running at that moment. Anyways, but these guys are doing okay. I wanted to show them to you guys. Remind you again, if you find a baby bird, anybody who might be new to the channel, remember, look for a nest. If you can reach it, put the baby back. The mom will accept the babies back. Okay? And fledglings are often, even if you don't see a nest, if you have a fledgling that can fly, So the babies that can fly, they often appear to be nestlings, but they're fledglings, and it's really hard to distinguish. So if you feel that the baby should be fine, because the parents will continue feeding them, if you want to help them out, what you can do is just pick them up, set them into the tree. It doesn't have to be high into the tree, just high enough for them to, be able to climb up if they choose to. Take them, like, pick them up from the ground, basically, because they're more vulnerable on the ground. But these little guys, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure these little guys survive. So I'm going to go ahead and get them back on a heating pad. They successfully ate. They ate the same way. Oh, you see that little movement? How it just kind of like opened its mouth like that and almost looked like a yawn? It's a crop adjustment, actually. It looks like a yawn, but they're stretching out the little muscles right here, and they adjust their crop to be more comfortable, or to digest better, or move the food down, or whatever it is. It's a crop adjustment. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing these tiny itty bitty babies that I found this morning, and I will give you guys an update as soon as possible. Alrighty, bye everyone.